From the bizarre to the believable, we explore the biggest myths about flying and air travel. Are you ready to break some rules? Stay tuned, because what we uncover will surely surprise you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
What everyone gets wrong about planes. Welcome aboard our journey into the skies, where we're about to uncover some common misconceptions and surprising facts about airplanes. Fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be an enlightening ride. Let's kick things off by discussing altitude. Planes typically soar between 30,000 and 40,000 feet. You might think this is just to show off or dodge those pesky birds. In reality, flying high allows airplanes to travel above most weather patterns where the air is thinner, creating less drag. This cruising height also significantly boosts fuel efficiency. Now, here's a misconception alert. Many people believe that flying at such heights lets you see the curvature of the Earth. Spoiler alert, it's not quite that dramatic from a plane window. And here's another misconception. Some folks think that older planes are just like the newer ones, but they had to deal with serious altitude-related issues like oxygen masks for everyone. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Planes didn't always have cabin pressure, leading to some rather uncomfortable experiences. Imagine traveling at high altitudes without pressurized cabins. Definitely not for the faint of heart. It wasn't until the 1950s, thanks to aircraft like the Boeing 707, that pressurization became standard, making air travel much more comfortable. Now, let's clear the air about those mysterious plane doors. Many believe that they can be opened mid-flight. While this would make for a thrilling plot twist in a movie, in reality, the laws of physics make it nearly impossible. The cabin pressure difference is so great that it locks the doors in place. For those daredevils out there who think they could just give it a good shove, sorry, not gonna happen. Dr. John Hansman from MIT puts it perfectly. The pressure differential is so great that if you tried to open a door, it would be like trying to lift a car. Let's address the techie side of flying. There's a common belief that cell phones interfere with flight systems. While it's true that electronic devices can emit signals, modern aircraft are designed to withstand this interference. The FAA has stated that airplane mode on phones is mainly to prevent distractions during takeoff and landing, but recent studies suggest it might not be as crucial as we once thought. Misconception alert. Many passengers still fear their phones could bring down the plane, but don't worry, you're safer than you think. The dreaded cabin air. Some believe that the air inside planes makes you sick, but here's the scoop. The air in commercial aircraft is filtered and circulated. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, found that over 99% of the air inside modern aircraft is refreshed every 3 minutes. And HEPA filters remove 99.97% of airborne particles, including viruses. So while you might feel under the weather after a flight, it's unlikely to be the cabin air's fault. A lot of people think they'll catch a cold just by breathing in the airplane air, but it's actually more likely you'll get a bug from that crowded waiting area. Let's get real. People fart more on planes. The combination of altitude and cabin pressure can lead to increased gas production. According to a study published in the Journal of Gastroenterology, over 50% of passengers report discomfort due to gas during flights. So, if you hear something suspicious, just know you're not alone. Next, Let's dive into the infamous airplane meal. While it's often said that airplane food is always bad, this stereotype isn't universally true. Sure, some airlines serve less than appetizing meals, but many invest in quality cuisine. A 2018 survey by Skytrax revealed that 61% of passengers rated their airline's food as acceptable or better. Airlines like Qatar Airways and Singapore Airlines are known for their exceptional dining experiences. So, misconception alert. Not all airline meals taste bland and rubbery, but it's worth checking the reviews before you take off. You might have heard the joke that everyone drinks tomato juice on planes. While this beverage is indeed a favorite among many travelers, thanks to its unique taste at high altitudes, statistics indicate that only about 20% of travelers actually choose it. The combination of altitude and reduced taste sensitivity makes tomato juice particularly appealing during flights. So, misconception alert, not everyone loves it. If you're not a fan, you're in good company. Now, let's talk about gliding. While planes are engineered to glide if engines fail, they can't fly without engines for long. On average, a commercial airliner can glide for about 60 miles if altitude is sufficient. The 2001 incident involving Air Transat Flight 236 is a notable example. The pilot successfully glided to an emergency landing after both engines failed, covering over 100 kilometers without power. So, misconception alert. Some think they'd plummet immediately. Thankfully, that's not how physics works. Moving on. There's a belief that the brace position is ineffective. In emergency scenarios, this position can actually provide some protection. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, emphasizes that this position minimizes injury risk during impact. So, misconception alert. People often overlook this crucial safety measure, but it can make a difference. You may have heard that night flights are more dangerous, but the data tells a different story. The FAA reports that commercial aviation is one of the safest modes of transportation, with an accident rate of just 0.07 per million flights, regardless of the time of day. Whether you're flying at dawn or dusk, you're in good hands. And here's a misconception alert. The dark doesn't mean danger, it just means you get to watch movies under the stars. Finally, there's a belief that pilots eat the same meal every flight, but regulations are in place to prevent this. To minimize the risk of foodborne illness, pilots are encouraged to eat different meals. The FAA advises pilots should choose different meal options to ensure that in case one is contaminated, the other will not be. Now, despite the fears surrounding air travel, flying is one of the safest ways to travel. According to the National Safety Council, your chances of dying in a plane crash are about 1 in 11 million. This starkly contrasts with driving, where the odds are about 1 in 114. So here's your final misconception alert. People often let fear overshadow facts, but statistics show you're much safer up in the air than on the road. Thanks for joining us on this journey to debunk these common misconceptions about airplanes. We hope you learned something new and feel more confident about your next flight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more intriguing insights.